What's up, YouTube Combat here, and today I want to talk about what happened to Call of Duty. What happened to this once great franchise, this great game that made everybody else copy them? Set the standard for first-person shooters instead of following it. What happened to the game that made other games envy and revel in its success? What happened to the game that made amazing franchises like Halo take features from it to implement into their games to make it more marketable to the masses? I've been trying to answer this question for a while now, and I don't think I have an exact moment to pinpoint exactly when Call of Duty fell out of favor with its fans, but I also think that it wasn't just the fans, it wasn't just the game, it was gaming as a whole. Now, for context, let's take a look at one of the most successful years for Call of Duty, where it really kind of launched into the stratosphere of gaming, and that was 2009. And let's just take a look at what the gaming scene was back in 2009. You had games released like Borderlands, Left 4 Dead 2, Killzone 2, Halo 3 ODST, but the list is short. There's not too many A-list games there, AAA titles launched by big studios. Yeah, you had a great game in Fear and Arma 2 both getting released that year. However, those weren't games you were dipping your claws into for 30, 40 plus days. The only one on this list that really resonated and kept players playing was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And that's where this fanboy and the real community grew, was through this, because at the time there was no other big AAA A-title games that were grabbing the masses. Now let's fast forward 2 years to 2011. Call of Duty was on top now for the last 3-4 years, with great titles in World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, and now it was their follow-up to one of the biggest games in multiplayer history, in Modern Warfare 2. How are they going to follow it up, Infinity Ward, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? So other publishers like EA decided it was time to answer the bell, bringing out Battlefield 3, which was marketed as the Call of Duty killer. Not necessarily by EA, but by its fans. It was the game that was supposed to defeat Call of Duty. Well, its launch was what defeated itself. Crysis 2 was good, but it wasn't enough to resonate with fans. Its gameplay was left behind for amazing graphics. The game Homefront was another game that was supposed to be innovative, different, bring a different side to war. What happens if North Korea were to invade? That once again failed and kind of fell on deaf ears. The only game that seemed to rival Modern Warfare 3 was Portal 2. But once again, the short amount of time that you would play that game, you're not soaking 40, 50 days into it. Whereas Modern Warfare 3 you were. Now moving into the next couple years, another couple years of lackluster games that didn't really pull attention away from Call of Duty. You look at 2012, where Halo 4 was kind of the next biggest game next to Call of Duty, especially on console. Well, primarily on console. If you look at it, Counter-Strike Global Offensive essentially stole the PC community. And that was the first time it seemed that something could finally actually penetrate what Call of Duty was. Moving now to 2013, where it seemed that maybe Call of Duty was vulnerable. Call of Duty Ghosts comes out, it's a little bit of a weaker title. Battlefield 4 releases, it's supposed to be bigger, better, more awesome than Battlefield 3. Once again, suffers from a rough launch, but ultimately becomes a pretty good game. Crysis 3 once again kind of forgot gameplay behind for amazing graphics. Still a fun game, but nothing amazing. The game that stole the show in 2013 was Grand Theft Auto 5. So when people were a little bit iffy about Call of Duty Ghosts, they went and they played Grand Theft Auto 5, and then they fell in love with a different type of game. This isn't what happened to Call of Duty. It was about time that a game released that could rival Call of Duty in the amount of hours that you could soak into it, how you could fall in love. and invest all your time into that one game. And as we go throughout the years, 2014, Destiny, Titanfall, Far Cry 4, Borderlands, more and more games start to enter the gaming scene, more games to invest our time into, to fall in love with the mythos that has been created. Moving to 2016, where Battlefield 1, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, The Division, Gears of War 4, Mafia 3, more and more and more games released to rival what Call of Duty was. All the way to this year, where you have games like Fortnite, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Destiny 2, Battlefront 2, Resident Evil 7. There is just right now too many great games on the market for Call of Duty to steal all of its market share. That is what happened to Call of Duty. Call of Duty didn't die. Call of Duty didn't kill itself. What happened was the other games in the market finally caught up. And there's just an abundance of great gaming out there. So thank you, Call of Duty, for allowing the gaming scene to evolve into what we have today, which is probably the best it's ever been. Microtransactions aside, so thank you for that. And hopefully we can continue to progress into better gaming, into more variety, and in more selection. Let's allow the successes of other games push the innovations of future games. And that's what I'm excited for. If you look at the evolution from 2009 to 2017, the gaming scene is a lot different now than it was back then. And that is because of Call of Duty. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, hit that subscribe button. Also, comment down below. Let me know what your favorite Call of Duty was and your favorite non-Call of Duty game is. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Combat signing off. Peace.